He is in New Orleans at Radio Row, site of Super Bowl 59. It is George Lund, who, by the way, did a great job yesterday at Radio Row. Let me move myself over. What's happening? Nice mustache. Looking good.
We killed it yesterday. It was awesome.
Dude, I was up from Blaze Radio ASU, by the way, at Blaze Radio ASU.
They're going right now. Twitter, I think they're on with 𝐼𝐻𝐿 actually right now.
I just saw. Are they really?
I think so.
Don't tell my people that, because then they're going to leave me. I'm going to watch 𝐼𝐻𝐿 with you guys.
Yeah.
All right. So what time? Before we go, what time are you on today? And I saw your wrap up thing and Monday, opening night and all those kind of things. So you're in New Orleans right now. You're at Radio Row. So what was day one like for you? Your first Radio Row, your first night in New Orleans, all that kind of stuff. What was that all like?
Maybe one of the longest days of my entire life.
You're 21. You're sleeping.
It was long. I think we started it. We started at 8. Mm-hmm. We started at 8. We got over to get our day passes in the morning. Mm-hmm. There's a show before us that was from 11 to 1 New Orleans time, and then our show was 2 to 4 New Orleans time.
Okay.
To which we bussed over to opening night, where we got to see all the players on the field. That was pretty incredible. Did
you get pictures and video?
I did get a ton of pictures and video. I got everything. I was doing it all.
Did you talk to Patrick Mahomes?
No, his crowd was massive. You know what? 2 of my friends got questions. They asked him both about ASU. So
yeah, but why? You got to be a dog, man. You got to get in there. Did you talk to Travis Kelce? Talk to Travis Kelce about?
I had to go for the easy guys. It's tough. I got to wait for.
You're not going to get any clicks with the easy guys. No clicks with the easy guys. I know. Who'd you go to? Like an offensive lineman? Who'd you talk to?
I talked to 𝐤𝐵𝐻𝐿. I talked to Justin Reed. I talked to who else I talked to? Zach Bond, Dallas Goedert.
Did you ask
you guys?
Okay. Did you ask the Chiefs why the refs love them so much? Did anything like that?
You know what's funny about that is everybody asked that.
I'm sure.
Travis Kelce got so tired of hearing the question, he asked the media why they kept asking him that.
He wouldn't answer questions about his girlfriend, man. He was getting all defensive. It was like, dude, just embrace it, man.
They're media trained. It was pretty. Every time anybody asked Mahomes anything, Mahomes would just deflect. But it was pretty funny to hear. Do
you have a Patrick Mahomes impersonation? Can you do one? A Kermit the
Frog? The refs weren't too nice to me.
Not that bad.
You know what somebody asked him? Somebody asked him.
That's not
he
bad.
said, "With all the good people in your life, do you send the refs Christmas cards? And which ref do you send the Christmas?"
Somebody asked him that, really?
They did. Well, that's the funniest part. Is we were talking about at the end of the night. The questions that get asked on opening night are unparalleled. It's like one guy's like, "How big is this game for you?" And then the other guy's like, "What hair product do you use for your hair?" And it's like, what are we doing?
Believe me, it's gotten a lot more tame through the years. It used to be just a total, it was crazy. All right, there's some people with questions for you. George is live and is gracious with his presence in New Orleans. I think I know the answer to this because I know you. Vernon is asking. Let me just pop these up on the screen. I don't know if you can see these or not. 1 to 10. What's the hangover at? I'm gonna before you answer. I think it's at a 1 or maybe a 2. But I don't think you went crazy. I can see it. Your eyes look tired, and we're going to talk about that in a minute because you can't ever say you're tired when you're at the Super Bowl because people get mad at you who are digging ditches and actually working for a living. But what are you at?
So here's what we did. The first night that we got here. So we got here
Sunday night.
I don't know, later. Yeah, Sunday night. But we got there later in the afternoon. We had a decent amount of time. Mm-hmm. And since we didn't have to do anything, we were like, okay, well, of course we have to go explore. And our hotel was probably a 20-minute drive from Bourbon Street.
Okay.
And I think
we got in some drive. Wow, they got you.
Or no, sorry, 20-minute walk. Sorry, 20-minute walk.
Yeah.
And we got some beers before, but then we didn't like take it with us.
Yeah.
We just kind of were in the hotel watching basketball.
Right.
And then we went and walked around. And got back by
that was
Sunday night.
You throwing beads around or what?
It was we were talking about it on the show yesterday. It's about everything that you would think it is and more. It was crazy. Every bar had like a live band, or they had people that were like out the window.
And that's not just a Super Bowl. That's just a Monday. Like that's not even. That's just a Monday.
Yeah.
That's just Bourbon Street.
That was a Sunday night.
Did you go to Patty O'Brien's or not?
I didn't. I didn't see.
Tonight.
There was
Patty O'Brien's.
There was. We'll be
first
there.
Stop. Everybody's first stop is Pat O'Brien's. You got to have a hurricane. It tastes like fruit punch, and you think it's nothing, and all of a sudden it's like wham! It just nails you. So first of all, Patty O'Brien's is like the first stop. And the thing about Patty O'Brien's that's so great is not only it's Patty O'Brien's, so it's a tourist trap and everything like that, but everybody goes there. So like when I was covering Super Bowl 47, I walk in there and like Jim Nantz, who was calling the game, Jim Nantz is sitting there in a corner. Athletes are there, all these different, so everybody goes there. So if you want to people watch, or if you want to take your phone and do funny nighttime interviews, that's where everybody starts. Like before I even got off the plane, Papa said, "I'll see you at Patty O'Brien's." Like, that's it. Like I threw my luggage in my room and I went straight to Patty O'Brien's. So I'm not saying you need to go there 50 times, but it's in the middle of Bourbon Street and everybody goes to Patty O'Brien's, and the number one drink in New Orleans is the Hurricane. And I told you, no, don't get the Hurricanes on the street. Those are questionable at best. But yeah, you got to go to Patty O'Brien's. You guys got to go to Patty O'Brien's. It's an institution. It's an institution.
You know what we have tonight that I'm curious? We have the media party.
Yeah, you got to go.
Which is from 11 to 7. What can I expect from that?
I know you're a bit of a picky eater, but A, it's free, but B, because I've been to the one in New Orleans. So what everybody does is, for the media party, what every city does, it's a taste of their city. But it's one of the coolest things ever. I'll give you a great example. Even though Indianapolis wasn't the best place for a Super Bowl, the media party was at the tower at the Indianapolis 500. And so, for example, the first floor, you guys would have loved this. You got to put gloves on, because what they did is they gave you a mug that was made of ice, and they filled the beer with the mug that was ice. Then you went up to the second floor, and it was scotch and cigars. Then you went up to the third floor, and it was like this old school band with bourbon, like a bourbon type of 1940s kind of feel. Then you could go down, and when they win the Indy 500, you kiss the bricks. You could go down and sit in an Indy car and kiss the bricks. You went out to Arizona a couple years ago. They had a big party in the middle of the desert. Like, they just dropped you in buses in the middle of nowhere. Last year it was in Vegas, and they had all these different, crazy Vegas stuff. They had all these different, like, they had Elvis impersonators doing, hey, and they sing it, and you get these drinks. Each level is a different drink or a different vibe. New Orleans is probably, of all the Super Bowls I covered, New Orleans is the best, because New Orleans has the best food. And so it's a cross section, which it is, of all these different foods, and the foods are amazing. And then they have drinks, like they'll have hurricanes, whatever the drinks are in New Orleans, all the different drinks in New Orleans they'll have. It's awesome. And it'll be well attended, because the media likes free. 1, 2, 3 free is for me. So if you want to see people from the media that they'll all be there, because I don't care if it's the highest profile media members or the lowest of the low media members, they all want free. And so they all go. It's a good time. And it's funny? It's all distinctive to that city. So New Orleans, the food is out of this world, and the drinks and everything else. So they want to top each city. So they haven't had this since we were there at Super Bowl 47, the Niners and the Ravens. So since that time, New Orleans is going to bounce it up even higher. It's cool. It's one of the best nights.
What's funny is my one of my friends that I'm with, he was at Radio Row last year, but then the rest of us are all new. So we're all juniors besides 2 seniors that are here. And he was telling me that last year, the crew that he went to Radio Row, they didn't want to go to the media party. And I was like, you didn't want to go to the media party in Vegas? Yeah. We're all ASU students, and we're like, okay, well, we're going to go to the media party in New Orleans. We're going to make that happen, because I at least want to see what it's like. I'm going to go to every single event.
Yeah.
I could possibly go to.
The media party's fun. You're hanging out with media members, so a lot of people wouldn't like that. But you'll see a lot of people that you know, and you're going to want to do like interviews and talk to them. So bring whatever it is, devices that you have, so you can play them on the show tomorrow. But it's not only that. It's just you want to get a feel for the city. But you're going to be there all this week, so you'll get a great feel for the city. But the NFL, it does a lot of things right. The NFL always throws a great party. So you'll get a real big feel for New Orleans. There'll be bands there, and and dancers, and the food will be amazing, and just everything is awesome. It's just a really cool thing. In fact, no, I was going to say you take a bus to a lot of these, but I don't even think you'll bus, because everything is walking distance in New Orleans. So
we might, because we bused to opening night yesterday, but that was a little farther from the.
Yeah, that's where that was at the Dome, though. It's right in New Orleans is where usually the media party is. But anyway, you'll have fun. All right, let me go. There's a bunch of things here. I'm sorry. Can you see the? Can you see?
Yeah, I can see them.
Okay, Daniel's thrown in $2, and he's one of my favorites. Bear down, go Wildcats. Forks down. Hurley's a baby. Go ahead.
That was a brutal game. I covered that game. I wrote for that game. That was a brutal game. That's been the story of their season. Is they get so close, they play up to their competition, and then they just collapse right at the end.
No, he froze up a little bit, but
well,
I got you.
Hurley did. Hurley, if you didn't see the game, Hurley didn't let the ASU shake hands with U of A, and there was this whole thing. And then in the presser, he said right at the end, he said, I have an all conference vote. You know who I'm not voting for, and he was referring to Caleb Love. The game was horrible. You can tell that Hurley is beyond frustrated. I mean, he has this super talented team, Josan Sanin, their freshman. He was a projected first round pick. Now he might be closer to the second round. I don't know if he would still declare. Jaden Quaintance is the 17-year-old phenom. He's the youngest player in college basketball. They have 3 transfers who are really good. This is one of the most talented
teams. That's
enough
ASU basketball. We're at the Super Bowl. Stop it.
Yeah. Okay. We'll move on. But either way, Hurley. Okay. Might be time to move on from Hurley.
Okay,
that's my sorry. I cover AC Sports,
no, it's
so
okay.
I can go on here.
Talk it up. We have you for a limited time because you have you got to get going. You actually got to work around here. Oh, this is a great one.
Around.
This is a great one. Okay, this is Tacky. He says, "Wait, is this John's son that yacked in an In-N-Out?" That's him. Yep. What year? That was a long time ago.
Long time ago.
That was a long time
ago.
Yeah, I tried to force you to eat a hamburger back in the day. And we're out at about 5 o'clock. I think it was the one in Concord right there, right off the freeway. And it's packed at 6 o'clock. We're outside sitting at a table. Fries and shake are doing fine. About second or third bite into the burger. Yeah. And we went, and everyone just scrambled. And we went, let's go. And we grabbed our stuff, put it in a bag, left the puke, which probably is not a great thing to do. I didn't try to clean it up. I just ran for my life. We both did.
No, we got out of there.
I told that story.
Was that someone else? Someone else must have done that.
Yeah, it wasn't you.
Not me.
Vernon. So are we? You have not tried a hurricane, is that correct?
No, but everywhere that we've gone, that's the first thing at the top of their menu. So we have to try it.
Okay, but
I'm
like
21
I said,
now. I have to get these experiences.
21 on the 3rd of January. Just all I'm saying is it tastes like fruit punch. So if you have one. And you're not a huge drinker, so have one and kind of reassess the situation to give it a minute.
Yeah.
And what's fun about Patty O'Brien's is they make like giant ones too, and it's fun and everybody's it's just it's an institution in New Orleans on Bourbon Street. That's where everybody starts out, and then you can go anywhere from there. But you have to say that I went to Pat O'Brien's. You got to buy a bucket hat from Pat O'Brien's. You got to have a hurricane, and there'll be a gazillion people there. And you better do it early in the week because, as you well know, and you know this on Radio Row. So right now it's pretty chill. Like Monday, Tuesday are chill. Wednesday gets bananas. Thursdays is out of control. And Fridays there's a gazillion people because they're there to party for the weekend. So if you want to go to these institutional type places like Patty O'Brien's, you got to go early in the week because by Friday you're not going to want to go because it's a madhouse.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Here's another one. Danny says, congrats on the new gig, George. I live in the Phoenix area and I sometimes watch Niner games at a big Niners bar on Mill called the Varsity Tavern. Or do you know the Varsity Tavern?
Yeah, I had the opportunity to go there last Saturday. That was my first time.
At the Varsity Tavern?
I went there last Saturday with some of my friends. Well, I'm still kind of experiencing everything for the first time, so it was cool to finally be out there. What I kind of tell everybody is being 21 in the Phoenix Tempe area is like unlocking new parts that I get to see from just the outside, and I actually get to go in, and I'm like, whoa, I've seen this for the last 3 years. This is what it looks like from the inside. So it's pretty funny. The whole experience so far has been pretty funny, kind of going to new bars. It is definitely made for a pretty fun 2-week stretch, more than I had in the first semester, to say the least.
All right, we got a few more minutes here because I know you got to get running here, and I have another interview that I got to do here. This is a really good one. I got to give John a gold star on this one. You are a longtime listener / viewer. So John writes, can we get an update on a sack is a bag good for ball?
Wow.
And that is that's KNBR. You were probably 7 or 8 or 9 years old. We had just moved here. You were 7, I think. And Michael Urban, rest in peace, good for ball. That's what that hashtag means. Michael and I were doing a show together, and your mom and my wife at the time you called in, and I don't remember the exact circumstances around it, but you said a sack is a bag, a sack is a bag. And we were making fun of you, and we played it all the time. And then Michael Urban would even come up to you, a sack is a bag, a sack is a bag. And we have that drop. I still have it in my archive somewhere, but you were probably 7 or 8 years old. So John is a longtime listener / viewer, and that's a Michael Urban reference. But you remember that. Sack is a bag.
A little bit.
That forever.
That's so, that's so old that I barely remember it. I do remember it because I remember the phone call, and I remember calling in, and then I remember people coming up to me and saying, "Oh, I heard it," and I was like, "What?" And I had to go ask you, but I remember it. I do remember it very
barely. Let's play the audio sometime. Let's play the audio.
If you can find it, play it. Next time I'm on during the week, I can tell you about some progress updates. They're starting to get NFL players and kind of real guys coming in. Yesterday was pretty laxed. It was like the Ryan Leafs of the world that were
right. If you get Ryan Leaf on, he is I've had him on Radio Row. It was in Indianapolis, and he'll have no problem telling you this. It was late in the day, and he was hammered. I mean, he was on every drug imaginable, and I went to his handler, and I looked at his handler, and I said, "This guy, we can't have him on the air." But he straightened himself out, and so he's got a great story.
You want to hear a funny story about yesterday, though?
Of course I do.
Is we have this other student radio station that's next to us, and they're real uptight journalists, kind of guys that I feel like we're more relaxed in terms of just, they're all wearing their, up necktie suits. I'm wearing a very relaxed fit. And they're talking to us, and they're saying they had this guy on who writes about Radio Row. Pretty much he wrote an article about each day, kind of what it consists of and what the vibe is. And he had them on their show, and he was pretty much saying that the kind of guests that you're going to get on a Monday are more like a Ryan Leaf type of guy. And they sit there and they're like, they just had Ryan Leaf on 30 minutes ago. And by that, they kind of meant you're getting the more boring, easy to get guest. Ryan Leaf probably went on 10 different radio stations. We were kind of watching him bounce around. But it was kind of funny because they were like, yeah, we just had Ryan Leaf on 30 minutes ago. And they were saying those are the kind of guests. But I thought that was pretty funny.
All right. These are a lot of good questions for the people today, I got to admit. So there's that one. This is a great question from Jazz fan. Hey, George, where's 𝐬𝐫𝐫𝐤 in your mock draft?
You know what's funny is my friend asked Saquon Barkley what he thought of 𝐬𝐫𝐫𝐤 yesterday. And then I asked Isaiah Pacheco what he thought of 𝐬𝐫𝐫𝐤 yesterday. Saquon said he didn't know who he was. Pacheco said he didn't know who he was.
Get out of here.
They don't know. I know, right? So I had to ask him who their favorite college player was. That was kind of the article that I want to write this week, kind of guys' favorite college players. 𝐬𝐫𝐫𝐤, I'd probably send him around. It's a stacked running back draft. That's the only thing.
I know where you want him to go.
He's around. I think he's around a 4th round pick. Which I think is very fair given the amount of talent that is in the draft when it comes to running backs. But I'd love to see him go higher. If he goes to the Raiders, I might be a happy camper beyond belief.
You love the Raiders.
That would be amazing. Well,
you like Chip Kelly as the OC?
The highest paid offensive coordinator in NFL history. Oh, man.
This is a good one. We get this a lot, George and I. Niner Bang says Junior Lund, Senior Lund. Yeah, I get that a lot, that Junior Lund is better than Senior Lund. But
every once in a while I'll get a tweet that says, don't make the same mistakes your dad did, or you're better than your dad, or whatever it is.
That's come from your mom. But yeah, a lot of people think that. But yeah, every time we go somewhere, they're like, "Oh my God, mini-me," and I feel bad for you when people say that, because I'm like, don't tell that to him. Don't show him what his future holds.
Yeah, that's not a good look for me.
Thanks. Let's see here. There's a lot of good questions that I've tried to go through all of them because lots of people have a lot of questions for you. Yeah, you probably will. You're a young-looking character. George will get carded at 30.
Oh, totally. I still have people that give me a double look.
They think you have a fake ID?
Yeah. Well, because I still have a vertical. I have to get a horizontal one. So they kind of do a double check. But even in my I took my ID picture at 16, so I look just like I could not look more different. Do you want me to pull it out and show you?
No, it's okay.
I have a lion's mane.
Yeah, okay, show it to us, but cover up some stuff. Yeah, well, I know that haircut. I've seen that haircut before. You know what the funny thing is? You know, I should pop up is I I don't remember. You used to have shaggy hair, and then you cut it from the time you went shaggy to how old were you when you did that? That's a good picture. I got to find that one.
Oh man, senior year of high school, my graduation, actually, the picture that we took, my hair is lion mane.
Yeah, it's funny.
And I've gotten a little shorter as time's gone on, and I realized that maybe I have to look semi-presentable on the camera from time to time. So that should be something that I should focus
on. We're getting a lot of these. The people liking the stash.
I've been loving it. I felt a little baby face. And I felt like it gave me a few years, and I felt like I needed that. Versus, I look back on it, I'm like, I look like a baby, but that's maybe grown up, looking more mature.
Yeah, that's not a bad one right there. A little Pajemski. I could see that. I could see the Pajemski side by side there.
A little bit. I can see it. A little bit of hair. He doesn't have the mustache like I do, though.
Oh, that's true. That's not bad, though. And he cut his hair, too, so he's looking a little bit more like you. Pajemski is. Let's see here. What else they got for you? A lot of good questions today, man. They're happy to see you because we've spoken about you a lot. By the way, people were really stoked. As I showed you off the other day, you're going to a Cape Cod. So here's the deal. You're in New Orleans this week to cover the Super Bowl with ASU.
Yep.
Next week you're going to Kansas City to cover the Big 12, and then
that'll be
what, 2 weeks or a week?
March 11th.
Okay.
I'm going to It's the Big 12 tournament.
You wrote for ASU basketball. You're the beat guy, and then you're the beat guy for baseball. Then you're doing the Cape Cod League in this offseason, the Wood Bat League, where you'll get to meet lots of stars. So you have a lot of good stuff going on.
I was telling him it all came together in like a 3-day stretch. It was pretty crazy. I mean, obviously I knew this was coming, but it got announced, and then I got the internship for the Cape Cod in the upcoming summer, and then I got asked to go to the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City, and then I made the baseball coverage team all in like a 4-day stretch. So one of the more rewarding 4-day stretches I've ever had in my life. But it feels good to make progress and see, all my work paying off. And now I get to be here and I'm at Radio Row, go see how 𝐼𝐶 doing a little later.
Very cool. I'll let you get out of the way, but just give us a feel, though. Give us a feel. New Orleans, I think, is the #1 Super Bowl city. I just think it's fun. I think it's got everything. You guys went over to the stadium yesterday to go to opening night. It's not far. A lot of these stadiums, you got to go forever, go back and forth. So it's just the more the week will go on, it's going to get crazier and crazier, and you guys are going to have more and more fun. But just initial impressions. You've never been to New Orleans before, so what are your initial impressions of everything from Radio Row? Which I got you on Radio Row in Arizona. It's not like you're oblivious to all this stuff. So what has it been like? Just like the first 48 hours in New Orleans with everything going on around you?
I think it feels a lot more grand. Phoenix is definitely. I actually dormed in Phoenix. That was where the journalism school is. So I've been to the Phoenix area, and Phoenix, it's just kind of a ghost town. There's really not just much going on in Phoenix. So this really feels a lot more like I'm in a central city. Like we bust across the bridge where they have the Mardi Gras lights on to get to the stadium. And then we walk around, and like Bourbon Street's 20 minutes down the road. The convention center is massive. It's super wide. I mean, just from being here on a Tuesday, it already looks like it's 10 times more packed than it was yesterday. The Superdome is amazing. I mean, it's just from the outside, it's a spectacle. It's amazing. Being inside, it was funny. Actually, the media room for opening night was in a parking garage. So they put carpet on a parking garage and just sat us in there. So it's kind of funny. We walked in and there's all these pillars in the room. The Superdome was amazing because it's so tight and compact. So it was really loud. They actually had fake fan noise going on within the stadium to make it feel more, because there weren't a whole lot of fans there. On the lower level, it might have been
There's
packed,
too much to do in New Orleans.
I know. But I'm really excited to see what's going on throughout the week. I mean, I feel like I haven't even, the tip of the iceberg. So see what it is. I'm excited to do our show today. We have a few good guests coming on.
Nice.
It was really fun to do it. That was the first time I went on with that specific show with my friends yesterday.
You guys were good.
I know, we killed it. I thought we had a good show. 4 people, but we have a good dynamic. We all know each other really well. I'm really excited for the whole week. I feel like I barely gotten a chance to really explore everything. We really only just glanced through Bourbon Street. We really didn't go in anywhere. I know at the very least we're going out tonight or going out tomorrow.
Yep.
To
go to the media
really
party tonight.
Explore. Yeah, because yesterday was opening night and then tonight's the media party. So we're really gonna go explore Bourbon Street tomorrow.
George Lund, he's my son. He goes to ASU, goes to Arizona State, the Cronkite School of Journalism, one of the best in the country. And he's covering the Super Bowl, unlike our colleges. They're sending us to the Super Bowl. He's on Radio Row. He's in New Orleans. He's going to the media party tonight. If you want to watch those guys do their shows, and you're going to have a bunch of guests from Radio Row, because you guys are right there on Twitter/X, right? So where
if you go to Blaze Radio ASU,
right?
We're live streaming our show all day. I think it started at 10 a.m. maybe Arizona time, so I think that might be the same time for you guys. It started at 11 New Orleans time. I think it goes to 1, and then our show starts at 2. It goes on for 2 hours, so 2 to 4 New Orleans time. Not sure what the time translation is over there.
Are you going to be posting also? Like you've got your account. What's your social media account? Are you?
My Twitter is at G1 Media. I've pretty much been posting just everything that I see this whole weekend. I got a few good videos that I need to post. I'm retweeting everything that we've done. We did a 5-minute sit down at the end. We were here at midnight. We were here at midnight last night when nobody was here filming a sit down. The 3 first timers, we were kind of talking about our whole experience for the day. It was pretty fun. Hoping to do that tonight again, and just getting more content all throughout the day.
Yeah, very, very cool, man. It's awesome. Enjoy the experience, have fun more than anything else, and just enjoy and go out to the city. And that's the main thing, because then you guys, you can talk about the football game all you want, but go out and experience stuff. Got to go to Patty O'Brien's tonight. Got to go to Cafe Du Monde in the morning, although I know you're not a morning person. The beignets are incredible. They're just like fancy donuts with a bunch of powdered sugar on them. They're incredible. You would love it. And just go out and just have a great time. But early in the week to the place like Patty O'Brien's, you got to do like early in the week. You can go later in the week, but it'll just be a madhouse. So if you want to kind of people watch, and I swear you're going to see people that you know, like media members, all that kind of stuff. Like, because that's just kind of the centerpiece of where people go. Like the first thing, they drop their stuff and then they run over to Patty O'Brien's, get a hurricane, and just kind of see what the vibe is. Bourbon Cowboy, you got to go ride and have them video you riding a mechanical bull. I did a show from there. I'll tell the story later in the week, but I'll let you go because you got stuff to do and a show to prepare for in New Orleans. And then we'll talk to you throughout the week. And good job. Proud of you. You're doing a great job.
Sweet.
At Blaze Radio ASU and at G Lund Media, right? At Blaze Radio ASU. Follow along with the guys from Radio Row. And you're at G Lund Media, and you're posting a bunch of stuff from New Orleans. All right, young son. Well done.
Thanks.
I'll
send you videos of me riding the bull.
Yeah, I want to know that. I want to see that. That's a great spot.
Let's see how it goes.
All right. Have a lot of fun. See you, my brother. All right. See ya. I cut him off a little early there. Sorry about that. There you go. What did you think? There's young son.